Hey guys, what's going on? Hayden here. I am here to talk about Breath of the Wild. This is totally not scripted. I'm just going to go free form for this. I don't really have the time or the motivation really right now to do a full-blown review like I've done with a few games in the past. I just want to talk about this game. I got to get my thoughts out there. I will keep this spoiler free, by the way. I won't go into story spoilers. There might be a few gameplay things I talk about. Again, this is like free-formed, but I am going to keep story spoilers away from this. We got to talk about Zelda Breath of the Wild. This has been easily my most hyped game. Like, I can't remember a time I was more hyped for a game than Zelda Breath of the Wild. Did it live up to the hype? I think yes. I absolutely think this game lived up to the hype. Let's talk about the gameplay for a second, which we can't just talk about that for a second because there's so much to talk about. But this game is incredible. The things that you can do in this game. Like, I love how the physics in this game merge with the combat in this game. Like, okay, for example, you can be holding like a bokoblin bat that you picked up off the ground, and you can swing rocks back at enemies that they're throwing at you. Like, that's just one example of how you can just go about the combat in so many different ways. You can just go right up to enemies and start wailing on them. You can throw bombs from a distance. You could roll a boulder down a hill. You can shoot arrows at them. You can, like, there's just so much you can do with just the combat alone. It makes every sort of situation that you come at like a strategy, a puzzle. Okay, I'm getting low on health. Maybe I want to play the coward's way and defeat these enemies. Oh my god, like there's just so many possibilities with every different type of enemy. It's awesome. I love how they handled the combat in this game. And I've seen some people a little mixed on the durability, how your weapons break. I have no problem with that. The fact that you can pick up items all the time and the items are so varied, it's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun to experiment with things and knowing that weapons, excuse me, there's my burps. Knowing that weapons aren't gone forever because you can always find more of that weapon. It's really awesome. It really fits in with that whole survival theme that Zelda Breath of the Wild kind of has. You are surviving in this massive world. It's natural that your equipment would break after so much use. That totally makes sense. Oh, love it. The cooking, that is another big thing that they've added to this game. Oh my god, the cooking. I love making food. I love experimenting with the different ingredients and, figuring out what would go good with what. And I'm excited to see what I'll end up with after making food. Like, it really is almost like a game in its own. Like, making the best food for the best situations. And by the way, let me tell you, those stamina foods, the foods that restore your stamina, those are essential if you want to survive in this world. There is so many times where that has come in use, come in very much clutch in situations where I'm about to fall off a cliff that I've been climbing, and oh my god! But that's the next. I know my thoughts are going to be all over the place in this video. I just gotta like rave about this game. Oh my god! Oh, you can go anywhere as soon as you are done on the plateau, which even then on the plateau you have some freedom with where you can go and what shrines you do in which order. You can do pretty much whatever you want after you leave the plateau. You can go west, you can go to Hyrule Castle, which I have not beaten the game yet. I've beaten the 4 main dungeons. Uh, that I don't know if that's a spoiler at this point or not, but whatever. I've beaten the dungeons. I am ready to do the final showdown, I guess we'll call it. Um, so I'm really excited for that. I have not done it yet. I'm really excited for that. But I love just, going to these areas. Oh my God, it's gonna kick my ass. I gotta get out of here. Like there's so many different ranges of strength throughout the world. Like there's some areas that are swarming with guardians. There's some areas that are really gentle and whatnot. And you can figure out which areas you want to go through. You can get through any area you want to, but you got to decide, okay, do I want to go through this harder area and maybe find something really cool, or do I want to go through this easier area that's probably, a better way to go? Maybe I can get stronger here. Maybe I can find some shrines, get some spirit orbs, all that stuff. And the shrines! I got to talk about the shrines. Oh my god, I love the shrines. Like the thing is with like I'm a very weird Zelda fan. I'm kind of like Andre from Game Explain. One of my least favorite things typically about Zelda games are actually the dungeons. The dungeons almost are, I don't want to say a sticking point, but they're a low point in the whole adventure for Zelda games. I love just exploring, doing side quests, finding collectibles, all that stuff. And that is why I think I like Breath of the Wild so much. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to collect. The Korok seeds, there's a bunch of shrines, but the shrines, finding the shrines is one thing, but actually doing them is a lot of fun. You know, they're very bite-sized temples, if you will. You go in there, you're put into a puzzle room, you do maybe 5 to 15 minutes of puzzles, and then you're out of there. You get your spirit orb, you get your treasure chests that you find in there, and then you're out of there, and you just keep going into the world. I love that structure. It is so much fun. I'm not, just mentally exhausted by the time I'm done a dungeon. And even the dungeons in this game, with the exception of one of them, I won't go into specifics, but one of them sucks. It's a complete mess. The other three, though, I really like them, especially the Zora one. The Zora temple, that is in the running of one of my favorite temples. I think that was really, really smart what they did. Again, I won't go into specifics if you haven't done that temple yet. I love the Zora temple. But I really do like the temples in this game. They're mostly puzzle based. There's a little bit of combat throughout, but not much. And then a boss at the end, of course. But the temples, the puzzles in them, they're very different. Again, I won't get into specifics, so you guys can check it out for yourselves. They're very different, and the temples themselves really didn't take me that long. For the most part, they probably took me about half an hour to 40 minutes. Where there was that one that was just a complete mess. Again, I won't get into specifics. That one probably took me like an hour and a half, just because I had no idea what I was supposed to do. But yeah, I really did like the dungeons in this game. They were very different than traditional Zelda dungeons. And that's what I really like about this game. It has really broken away from the conventions of modern Zeldas because they have really gotten kind of repetitive. Like Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, while I think they're both good games, they did start to stagnate just a little bit. And I think that Breath of the Wild came at the right time, where the Zelda series was kind of in need of that reboot. A Link Between Worlds was a great step in the right direction. I loved what they did with that game, where you could do any of the of low roll dungeons out of order. That was awesome, and it's really shown in Breath of the Wild that they've taken a few steps back and said, okay, this is what seems to be working now. This is what is fun. Let's go whole hog with this concept of, open air, open world, doing whatever you want kind of thing. I love what they have done with this game. I absolutely think this game is brilliant. And the fact that, oh, I got a little thing popping up on my computer. Go away. All right, forget it. We're doing this live. I'm not going to cut that. Um, but I also got to talk about the fact that this is a very, relative to other video games, this is a very realistic video game. Like, 9 times out of 10, if it works in the real world, it'll work in this game. Like, I love that. Okay, I'll just give an example. So there was one shrine I was in, and it required me to make an electric current on the floor to activate. So I had to get the electric current all the way to the other side of the room so that it could light up these light bulbs. And once I got the two light bulbs with electricity in them at the same time, it would open up a door and I could finish the shrine. But it gave me these metal boxes so I could use them to conduct the electricity along the floor. I had to place them in the right spots so that the currents could attach to each other. But I couldn't figure out how to do it I was only given like 2 or 3 boxes, and I couldn't figure out where to place them all. So what I did was I placed some of my metal weapons, some of my metal swords on the ground to connect the electricity in the places that I couldn't figure out, and it worked. Like, of course it worked, because that would work in the real world. If you have anything metal, it doesn't matter if it's a box or it's a sword or, like nails or whatever, that'll work. And that was just a mind-blowing discovery to me. Like, that stuff works. And I love this game for that. I like Here's another one too. I've seen this kind of going around, and I wish I knew about this when I was doing this shrine. There's one shrine where you have to use the gyro controls to kind of like roll a ball through a maze, and then you get it onto another platform using, the gyro controls. What I didn't know is you could actually flip the maze upside down by flipping the controller upside down, and you can actually just have a flat surface. That is so cool. Like, I wish I thought about that. But just there are so many other examples to that. But you can do anything in any way you want to do it. And I love that. This is the Zelda game I have been clamoring for years. The freedom that this game gives you. There is like no handholding in this game, and I absolutely love that. Oh my god. I will talk briefly on the story. I won't go into specifics. I will just talk about my feelings about the story right now. It's good. I think they really did the best they could with the, like, thing is with this game, sorry, I'm really itchy. The thing is with this game, because you can do anything in any order you want, coming up with a story for a game like that where things happen in a chronological order, that's a really tough task for Nintendo to handle. But I think they came up with a really good concept. Again, it's the whole idea is figuring out, okay, I've been asleep, I being Link, I've been asleep for 100 years. What has happened in the past 100 years? Why was I asleep? What's happened since then? That's kind of the whole idea with this story, figuring out what happened, and I think they did a really good job with that. I don't think it's my favorite Zelda story. I think my favorite Zelda story would still have to go to either Skyward Sword or Wind Waker, one of the two. Those I think have the best plots, in my opinion. If you're just speaking about plots, I think those two Zelda games have the best ones. But Breath of the Wild might be third. Again, I'm gonna have to sit on it for a while. I'm gonna have to sit on this game for a while to figure out where it fits into my top 10 Zelda games and whatnot. But the story is pretty good. I love the tone in this game. The tone is very, you know, dark and like just depressing, like what has happened and whatnot. I guess the thing that kind of, I guess the thing that kills it for me is the fact that this world, despite the fact that Calamity Ganon is wreaking havoc, he's this like ever powerful presence in the world, but people just seem to be going about their lives normally. And you can take as long as you want to get to the final battle. I think that kind of kills it for me. But I mean, this game is ultimately about the gameplay at the end of the day. It is about exploring, it is about discovery. And I think that's what this game really nails. I have never felt this sense of discovery that Breath of the Wild delivers in any video game ever. I love just exploring, just finding stuff. There's like, again, 2 weeks later, I'm still finding stuff that is absolutely blowing my mind or stuff that I didn't know was there. I think I found 92 shrines and almost 300 Korok seeds. And I know the exact amounts. I won't spoil them here. I've seen the exact amounts of how much of those there are. I've still got a ways to go. There's still a ton of stuff for me to find. I've been finding, like secret like items. I've been finding like secret, just so many secrets. There are so many secrets and things to discover in this game. And I can't wait to finish this video so I can keep playing more. But Breath of the Wild, honestly, it has completely and utterly lived up to the hype for me. That's just kind of my quick, off the wall impressions. But I want to know what you guys think about this game. Let me know in the comments below. Have you been playing this game? Tell me some of your favorite moments from this game, but don't get too spoilery. We don't want to spoil anybody. You don't want to spoil me. I'm going to be really mad if I get spoiled on anything super, super massive. But let me know what you guys have been thinking about this game. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more on Zelda and other Nintendo goodness. Peace out for now, guys. Bye.